When Amazon brought their Kindle to market, I for one thought that is it. The writing is literally on the tablet, so to speak, for books and bookstores. It was going to be another Kodak moment. It was man turning that final page in an important evolutionary chapter. But that's not what happened. No. You see, society pushed back against technology, and it's, I don't know, what do we call it? Sterile efficiency, I guess. And you know, it's no different when you look at cars. As we get ever closer to what will be a disconnect that will come with autonomous driving, it's time for us to push back, and the resistance doesn't get stronger than with Nissan's Patrol. Now, it seems almost frivolous to discuss the appearance of such a utilitarian piece of automotive kit. You wouldn't discuss John Wayne's skincare routine or his taste in hats now, would you? Nevertheless, it is rather handsome in a square-jawed, broad-shouldered sort of way, and its considerable bulk does make it hard to miss, be it parked in a shopping mall parking lot or under a clump of camel thorns. It only comes in 3 colours, white, silver and gold, and we would recommend the latter for blending in with the African savannah. Look, everything about the Patrol just screams, yes, you can. It just gives you that sense of confidence, no matter what obstacle or dirt track lies ahead of you. It's just got that presence. It's macho, it's mean, it's manly, and it is incredibly capable. I mean, I know a lot of the newer cars that are out there. I guess even the newer Patrol that we don't have in South Africa has all the fancy little switches and buttons. This is still pretty old school. You can drive in 2-wheel drive. You've got your little manual gear selector to put it into 4 high or obviously 4 low. It's got a rear diff lock, which is amazing, but then you can also lock the front hubs. That just tells you that there literally is no place in the world that your Patrol's not going to take you. And that is what I like about it, is that there is that simplicity, there's that honesty about how it delivers and does what it does as well. And I guess when you look at the underpinnings, again, it's stuff that has been tried and tested over plenty of years in the harshest terrains. There's nothing new and fancy. It's a all steel body, ladder frame chassis. It's got multi-link suspension, heavy duty coil springs, and that is why it's able to do what it does so effectively. Well, the Patrol is a big car, just on 5 meters long, with a wheelbase just short of 3 meters, but it's got really impressive approach and departure angles. You're sitting with 37 front degree angle and a 31 rear. 210 mils ground clearance. Those figures sound great, but what I did find a bit of a problem, because of that length of the car and the wheelbase, with it having runner boards, it tends to get caught up on your axle twisters, which is a little bit frustrating. But I suppose when you're going into Africa and doing mainly flat trails, you're not going to have a problem with that. But that is the one little hassle that we did have on this little route that we were driving on. But even in the interior, I mean, things are really simple. There's no fancy tech here, and you know what? I like it. It's cool. You don't mind taking it into the bush. And just like that, a quick change, we're back into 2-wheel drive and you're cruising to work. Now we know the Patrol is robust, and I think that might be the fear that, oh my word, it's going to be a little bit agricultural and unrefined driving it every day on the road. But actually not, because it has the multi-link suspension. It's actually really adaptable. What it is though is not as firmly sprung as the new German SUVs that you find out on the road. This thing is comfortable. It's going to absorb the bumps. It's going to be a little bit wallowy, but that's because it's got that real ability for off-road. There are 2 models that you can choose from, and they've kept it really simple. If you want a 5-seater diesel option, well, that's the GL model that you get. If you want to go the petrol, well, then that's the GLX. We in the diesel, which is your entry level, setting you back at 650k. An engine that's been around for a long time, 3-litre common rail turbo diesel engine. The figures sound respectable enough, 110 kilowatts, 371 newton meters. But I guess it's kind of lagging a little bit behind now when you are driving it, especially in this environment. It's a bit of a hack from an overtake perspective. There's a bit of turbo lag. The gear change is quite a slow process because it only comes with a 5-speed manual. But you know, you can kind of forgive all of those little issues because that's part of the real feel of driving this car. So why are they talking about this as a new Patrol? Well, it's really a facelifted Patrol, and they haven't changed too much in terms of the underpinnings and the engines. What they have changed is they've added in a few creature comforts, and it's really quite simple. That little touchscreen setup that they've got here gives me that rear camera, because it is a big car, it makes it quite easy from a drive and park perspective, and obviously Bluetooth connectivity. I can now connect my phone, I can plug in a USB, I can listen to my music. So they've kind of brought it up to date with what a guy's going to want when he's heading on the school run, going to work, or more importantly, is towing his boat to head down to Mozambique for a lacquer weekend roughing it. And talking about towing, 2.7 tons braked towing capacity, 750 when you're using an unbraked trailer, and you've got tons of space here. I mean, you flip the seats down, you can load as much as you want to load into it, and it really is a comfortable drive. Without a doubt, the Patrol has earned its stripes. It's been in production since the 1950s. It's the United Nations vehicle of choice, so that says a lot about its credibility and reliability. The sad thing for me, though, is that it's a dying breed. If you look at the Defender, that's been put to pasture. And in South Africa, the only competitor left for Nissan's Patrol is the Land Cruiser 76. What is interesting for me is that Nissan has chosen not to bring the 7th generation Patrol to market, a car that was launched back in 2010 and runs on Infinity's QX platform, a platform that we're very familiar with. But I suppose it comes down to numbers. Yes, the car is going to be more comfortable, more luxurious, have a lot more high-tech gadgetry in it, but it's also going to cost a lot more, probably around the R1 million mark. So the Patrol that we have in South Africa right now, I love it because it doesn't pretend to be something that it's not. And luckily in South Africa, there are still buyers for whom that is a really endearing quality.